All right, let's go to the NFC North. Bears 24, Lions 14. And just like you bundled the Tyreek Hill Kansas City offense from last week to this week and what they did, I think when you consider the Bears win, you also have to remember last week. That was, at age 50, I think that was the worst offensive performance I've seen. 47 total yards the Bears get in that loss to Cleveland.
Yeah, that was shit.
So you keep that in mind and look at what they did this week, 24 points, and Fields was much better, a whole lot better. So I think the improvement here from Cleveland to what they did at home against Detroit is the theme.
It's the theme, and they gave him a chance to be successful. That's where I argued in the Cleveland game. Like, okay, yeah, he didn't pull the trigger on a few throws I'd like him to throw, but like the game plan itself never lent it to Justin Fields ever being successful.
Breaking news, I'm just told by Pete he's starting. Yeah.
No shit he's starting. No shit.
It's amazing he didn't say it after the game.
Come on. Right? What are they doing in Chicago? Just go with it. He's the best quarterback they got, and I know it's not perfect.
And you can tell there's an energy. There's this non-tangible part the team feeds off of.
100%. I think all of it. So here's the thing that jumped out to me, just right off base, and we can go to questions and we'll break down plays. He got underneath the center. They ran the football. That's the first thing. Like, the Chicago Bears should play the Cleveland Browns offense, run the ball, bootlegs, play action passes, and then sprinkle in a few Lamar Jackson run plays, right? And they will be a handful. You'll go, the formula is not complicated, but damn, the formula they have really makes you defend a lot, the whole field. We got to worry about the line of scrimmage and being dominated there. And then within that, the Bears have receivers that can beat one-on-one coverage.
Clearly.
They do.
Yeah.
And they traded for Hakeem Grant with the Dolphins this week, which I think would be part of this Lamar Jackson speed sweep. We're going to do all this stuff behind the line of scrimmage. I'm hoping that's why they made that move. But, yeah, so that was the big thing. 11 completions for 209 yards.
That's 19 yards of completion.
That says something right there.
Big time, yes.
That's because they ran the ball, and almost other than two throws, every other throw was a play-action pass. So, yeah, they compromised the defense. They made them force them to get down there. And here's the other thing. I'm sick of hearing about the Bears' offensive line is shit, all right? I am. Now, the Bears' offensive line is shit when you try to throw the ball 40 times a game in that offense. But, like, when you break down center, Sam Mustipher, good player. We saw him at Notre Dame. Left guard, Cody Whitehair, good player. James Daniel, right guard from Iowa, good player. Right tackle, Jermaine Ifedi, good player. They can move people in the run game. They can. Jason Peters, a left tackle. Okay, we know he's an aging whatever. He's an aging borderline Hall of Famer guy that's not, he's not his best anymore. Maybe the weak link. I get that. But they should be able to run the ball if they commit to it. And I think that's where it started. And then play action pass gets Justin Fields away from the line of scrimmage, which is going to make him a dangerous scrambler. And play action pass, and a lot of throws outside the numbers, I talked about with the 49ers, where, again, don't make them read it and throw balls into tight windows over the middle sometimes. When you run the ball, it's one-on-one outside, and he's a very good down-the-field thrower. To me, that's where he's at his best. And anybody during the draft breakdown, I used to say this, he's at his best throwing the ball down the field. Where I questioned him was 5 and 10-yard throws into tight windows and being really ultra accurate that way. And, you do this way, you can build some confidence and then start to dabble into that type of stuff. And I liked what I saw from the Bears and Matt Nagy in the offensive attack.
So I want to give a nod to Jordan Ingram, who asked a question on Twitter. What did Bill Lazor do, calling plays differently than what we saw last week with Matt Nagy?
Yeah.
And I think you just answered the question.
Hopefully I just answered it. That's
answered
right.
it pretty well.
He tied plays together. There was a real plan of attack, and it fit what Justin Fields does best. And that, to me, gave them a fighting chance on the offensive side of the ball.
Speaking of tying plays together, Chris, let's take a look at back-to-back plays early in the third quarter. Start with the ground game, and then they'll follow it up with the passing game.
Right. See, this is just an example of, what I'd like to see them continue to do. Now, this is Montgomery playing Wildcat quarterback. But this was my point of, I'd like to see Justin Fields doing some of this. You make people defend him running the football with them the way they run the football. And now his ability, like we've seen, to throw the ball down the field a little bit, they'll be dangerous. They really will. And I know Montgomery's hurt, but Damian Williams I know he's a little banged up too. He's been playing really good. The rookie they got from Virginia Tech, he's a pretty good little player too. So the run game should not fall off this week by any stretch of the imagination. But I hate when this thing does that. But this is what I'm talking about with this is what I'm talking about with Lamar Jackson run game stuff. And this is what I want to see more from them, to me. And I want to see it with Justin Fields, because Justin Fields is faster than Jordan Montgomery. And it'd be dangerous, right? But, like, they give you a bastard look here. Backside, double pulling lineman. And you're thinking, wait, Montgomery's going to delay and go right in there and smash it in there. That's going to be tough to defend. And Detroit, these guys have seen football. You see backside pulling guards, you start to go, well, damn, they're going to run on the front side. We're going to be in trouble. So people start to fast flow and get over there, right? So what do? He gives it to Mooney out the back door. I mean, look at that. But the point is, when you run the ball and start to run it and commit to it and be successful, and now you do things like this.
You don't need your tailback to do it either with Justin Fields in the game.
Exactly right. I don't know why they did this with just the running back, because they ran about 2 or 3 other plays out of this formation.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just trying to save Justin Fields at this point, and he's a rookie, and they want him to get used to football. But, I just think if you sprinkle in that little aspect of your offense with Justin Fields at quarterback, and then let's go to the next play, Pete and Kristen, and then you sprinkle in, hey, we're going to run – guard pull in the running game, and we're going to run inside-outside zone. They got 2 or 3 tight ends that are pretty damn good and can block people. I mean, Cole Kmet's a beast running in the run game.
Yeah.
They can really force your hand here. And this is, to me, just kind of, again, this is not like the sexiest play of the day, but it just exemplifies, again, run game, fitting your quarterback with the proper scheme, right? And what we're going to get here is just like, it's weak side ISO, basically. It's weak side ISO with the backs, and the linemen are in total pass protection slide mode, right? But it's tight end coming up here, Montgomery coming up here. This front 7 for Detroit's already seen this a few times, so they're going, oh, shit, here they come again. Let's, buck up Bart and take on the run game. But instead here, Fields is they're going to have a receiver out here who's going to run like a go route, a slot receiver. And then Allen Robinson's going to come inside behind him. And look, I mean, you see all the space here. I mean, there's a ton of space because they've been running the ball. They were committed to it. Let me let it play. See, there goes the post. And then look at Allen Robinson coming right behind it.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean, that is a perfect 20-yard deep over, 44. The linebacker couldn't get back there because he was, for a second, concerned about the run.
Exactly right.
Safety has to run with that go route in front of him.
Right. Here's the other linebacker.
It's textbook.
He came up to stop the fullback on the ISO, or the tight end who was playing fullback. And to me, the point is, you create a pocket for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got space where, again.
Look at how much space.
I mean, right. If he'd kept the ball and just, maybe he didn't see things clearly, damn, he's going to be in here and he's going to be able to run and do that. That's an aspect that I think people don't think of sometimes with the running quarterback. And then more importantly, just this space to throw the football. And he's been real controlled and smooth throwing the football. He doesn't try to overthrow it. He's been throwing really nice spirals, and because of that, of course, he had his best day as an NFL pro so far. And I just hope they stick with that, because with that defense and that, they'll be a pain in the butt.
I think he hit a go route on the next play as well. That was a really pretty ball down the sideline as well.
Because they're playing now. They're worried about the run again. They're playing man-to-man. And Mooney can run by anybody.
He's pretty
so
good.
You put him one-on-one, and then Fields, like I said, Fields' mechanics change as he throws the ball down the field. His mechanics are more proper when he throws the ball down the field than when he throws a 5-yard slant or a 10-yard in-cut over the middle. But, man, good job by Justin Fields. That was really a lot of fun to watch. I hope he keeps kicking ass.
So now he's going to get his chance starting against the Raiders.
Yeah.
What can they do to help him stay on this right track?
Raiders are beat up on defense. Corners aren't, we had Arnett get hurt in the game the other night. Trayvon Mullins hurt.
It's trouble. Mooney and Robinson, 24 yards per catch last week.
Yeah, that's trouble. And then not a lot of big people on the Raiders' defensive line. You saw the Raiders get pushed around by the Chargers the other night. So I think with that aspect right there, that's going to be dangerous. Where's that game at? Is it in Chicago?
This says at Raiders, Pete. Is that correct?
Raiders? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But that should be interesting, and I would be shocked if that's not a close football game. Would be shocked. Really would be.
All right.
Don't know who I'm going to pick yet. I got to think about that one. Yeah.
It's only Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
I have to start getting my head wrapped around these things. So
because Florio's going to be waiting for you.
I do the
on,
podcast
is it tomorrow. Or Friday?
Yes, tomorrow. So I literally every week I'm so into last week, and I'm like watching film. And Pete comes into my office. Pete Dimalitolitis.
Yeah.
And we start talking about this pod, and he's like, "All right, so let's look forward." And I'm always like, wait, who's playing this week? I don't know anybody. I don't know any of the matchups yet, other than our own Sunday night Kansas City, Buffalo game. So I got to start thinking about next week a little bit more as the.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.